Hello dear students, I have brought a new set of lesson and that is based on English language. Today I'm going to teach you this particular exercise that is something to do with the connection of sentences. So while you join two sentences, you don't have to use certain words. It has been given here. You don't have to use and, but, or so. Let me just highlight it in a different color so that it pulls your attention. All right, so you don't have to use and, but, or so when you combine the two sentences which are given in the question. So I'll start with question number 1. If you look at this question, it says the teacher arrived, the class started. Okay, so here two things are happening. First is the arrival of the teacher, and second one is the beginning of the class. Now, ideally, what happens? First thing is the arrival of the teacher, then the class begins. Okay, so something is happening first. So what is going to happen here first in this case? So definitely the arrival of the teacher. So we can use a conjunction which is also called a subordinating conjunction, because I'm starting with a conditional form of a sentence. So when the teacher arrived. Now when the teacher arrived, something has happened. Now you'll get the answer right from the question itself. The class began, the class started. So when you start a sentence with a conditional sentence, then you put a comma, then the next sentence will be written right after this. So when the teacher arrived, the class started. Okay, so put a full stop. So that is the answer to this particular question. Now you can also see here that this particular sentence has got two clauses. When the teacher arrived, this is called when conditional, and it is also known as the dependent clause. Okay, because it is not complete in itself. For this you need to have another information, like here the class started is actually the combination of two clauses, dependent and independent clause. All right, so remember this. Now when you start a sentence with the dependent clause, you put a comma after this. You can reverse the order also. Here I'm not going to do this, but you can do this as well. The class started when the teacher arrived. But the benefit is when you start a sentence with the dependent clause. Let me do this for you. Let me do it quickly. So let me reverse the order, and let me put it the alternative. So what you can do when you're doing the alternative way, you can start a sentence with the class started. Okay, so you don't have to put comma here. When the teacher arrived. So that's it. Did you get it? So the class started when the teacher arrived. You have reversed the order. So either way you can answer this particular question. All right, let's go to the question number 2. Okay, the drive was tedious. I fell asleep on the back seat. Okay, now drive was tedious. Can you say, it's very easy to say the drive was tedious, so I fell asleep on the back seat. But you don't have to use and, but, or so. So in this case, what are you going to do? You are going to change it into a kind of indirect speech. The drive was tedious, and that is the reason you fell asleep on the back seat. So one is the cause and the second one is the effect. So you can write like this: the drive was so tedious. Tedious means very tiring. The drive was so tedious that, it's like using indirect speech. Remember, we use that when we change from direct speech to indirect speech, that I So whenever you have this form, the simple past tense will convert into past perfect. So it will be I, past perfect form, had fallen asleep. So this becomes the past perfect form, because when you change a speech from direct speech to indirect, the simple past becomes past perfect. So I had fallen asleep on the back seat. That's it. Easy. The drive was so tedious that I had fallen asleep on the back seat. The answer to the question number 2. Let's quickly go to question number 3. He was found in possession of the stolen goods. He was punished. Now you can see, why was he punished? You can say because he was punished because he was found in the possession of the stolen goods. So you can answer this question in this form: as he was found in possession of the stolen goods. What happened then? As he was found in the possession of the stolen goods, something happened? Yes. Then you put a comma. I told you, whenever you start a sentence with a conditional form, like I've started this with a subordinating clause, then put comma here. He was punished. If somebody said we can change the order, yes, you can reverse the order. You can also say he was punished as he was found in the possession of the stolen goods. You can write like this also, but in this latter case you don't put comma, but when you start with a subordinate conjunction, you put a comma after the first clause. Okay. All right, let's go to the question number 4, and that is going to be the last question in this segment. Stop talking, leave the classroom. There are 2 instructions: leave the classroom, stop talking. So when you're trying to combine, think about it. Stop talking and leave the classroom. You don't have to use and. The instructions all been given in the beginning. Or you can say stop talking. You have a choice. So if you are given a choice, then you use a conjunction or. Stop talking or leave. If you really want to continue with the talking, then you have to leave the class. Otherwise, when you want to stay back in the classroom, you got to be quiet. You have to stop talking. So there is a choice given. So stop talking. If you don't want to stop talking, go out of the class, leave the classroom. So that's the choice. So when you have got choice, you use the conjunction or to combine the sentences. Stop talking or leave the classroom. All right. So this is just in this particular lesson. I'll come back to you with a new set of words, or rather set of sentences, in order to combine without using and, but, or so. So till then, keep learning, keep practicing. Take care.